Near Protocol, a Layer 1 using Sharding and Doom Slug. Those are a couple of fun words, so let's find out how they are used in the Near Protocol. My name is Brian.
And my name is Ross.
And we are the Crypto Masters. Hey, welcome to the Crypto Masters podcast, helping the general public to master an understanding of crypto assets. The topic of today's episode is Near Protocol. It's another Layer 1 protocol. How is it different from the others? Let's find out. A quick reminder, our goal here at the Crypto Masters is to provide information about crypto assets to help the public decide if it's something that they may want to invest in and then do further research on their own.
Yeah, Brian, we provide information about different crypto assets to allow the listeners to make their own investment and financial decisions. And guess what? We are not financial advisors, so this is not financial advice. Write it down.
Had to be said.
But yeah, the Near Protocol uses sharding, so I'm excited to use that word throughout this podcast.
I'm going to let you do that then. All right. So let's start though with some background. The founders of the Near Protocol are Ilya Polosukin and Alexander Skidinov. And it started as a machine learning project before it became a blockchain project in early 2017. Both of the founders have experience with major projects outside of crypto, including at Google. And the Near Protocol launched its mainnet on April 22nd of 2020, so not really that long ago. Fun fact, Near was named from the science fiction novel The Singularity is Near.
Ooh, scary. True.
I've never read
Have you?
it.
Yeah, I haven't read it either.
They must.
It's on my reading list, though.
Is it?
It is now.
Okay, yeah, it does sound kind of interesting. We've talked about Singularity before when we talked about the project Singularity. So I guess that was taken, so they had to call it Near. All right.
That's right.
Anyways, Near is a Layer 1, which means it competes with Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, Tezos, Terra, Solana, Polkadot, Cosmos, and many others.
Just a few competitors.
Got some competitors out there. All right. So in researching for this project, I repeatedly read that the Near protocol attempts to be like user-friendly and developer-friendly. So we can see how that worked out. And for instance, Near uses human-readable account names, unlike cryptographic wallet addresses common to Ethereum. So, the 0x and then all the other numbers and letters that normally follow. For Near, they can use human-readable account names. So I can see some benefit to that.
Yeah, very cool in my book, I got to say. Yeah.
So, Ross, you had the food truck burrito for lunch. So why don't you tell us about sharding on Near?
Oh, yes. I did, Brian. I did. I had 2 burritos for lunch.
Oh, that is not sitting well.
So, yeah, Near uses sharding as its solution to scaling its blockchain. As we've discussed sharding in previous podcasts, but sharding, general overview of sharding, it's the technique used to split a single data set across multiple databases, allowing for parallel processing and more efficient use of the computational resources available. This is used by other projects and was used in databases, of course, before crypto, and is similar to what is on the ETH 2.0 roadmap. Mm-hmm. But, Brian, Near puts a different twist on sharding. Near uses what's called Nightshade.
Wow.
They need like a superhero or something. I'll come up with something behind this. But Nightshade, which is designed to enable dynamic resharding, which has no cap on the number of shards, and it's able to create and merge shards according to computational needs by the needs required by the network at any given time. So you can see, as the network requires more resources, it shards up or shards out,
Gotcha. So, that does seem like a good idea.
Yeah. So this could make Near's transaction throughput able to scale higher than other sharding projects and other projects in crypto for that matter. At this time, Nightshade has only completed phase 0 called Simple Nightshade, which has 4 shards and does about, it's all rough and numbers like this, but it's about 3,000 transactions per second throughput.
Wow, nice. All right, Ross, so you've covered sharding, so I get to talk about Doom Slug.
Oh, yes.
And it is not a giant monster slug that terrorizes Tokyo and battles Godzilla. But it kind of sounds
But that
like
would be a fun podcast episode.
Doom Slug. All right, it is the name of the consensus mechanism used by the NEAR protocol. So Doom Slug is based on 2 rounds of consensus where a block is considered finalized as soon as it has received the first communication round. And this allows near instant finality by having validators take turns producing blocks rather than competing directly based on their stake. We've heard of some others doing similar type things before, and that is a way to improve the speed. The name Doom Slug is fantastic, but it really is a form of delegated proof of stake.
Boring. No,
Yeah. Some of the, they renamed it Doom Slug, but I've seen, some of the literature on it calls it a delegated proof of stake, which we have discussed before. And you'll recall on those discussions, kind of the weakness of the delegated proof of stake is lack of decentralization. According to the NEAR Mainnet Explorer, the NEAR blockchain currently has between 60 to 100 validators, which is more than some other delegated proof of stakes we've talked about.
Yeah,
but it's not a very big number when you consider some other projects' decentralization. At the validator layer.
Yeah, we've seen some around like 20 or 30. So seeing this is
so
definitely better.
Right. So this is better, but I mean, you consider some others. I think Cardano has over 3,000, stake pools, which is kind of the equivalent of a validator. But anyways, there's always a trade-off. And it's not easy to become a validator. Not easy at all. Although there's technically no minimum stake to become a validator, there is a stake required of NEAR tokens to become a validator, and it depends on the total amount staked by other validators. And currently the amount is around 60,000 NEAR tokens to become a validator, which amounts to about $650,000 at today's price. $650,000. So we're talking more than $500,000 to stake to be a validator. So that's a high barrier to entry. And also I understand that the top nodes hold the most stakes, have a disproportionate share of the network, something like the top 6 nodes currently cumulatively own like 33% of the total NEAR that's staked. So again, we talked about it before, the trade-off among decentralization, scalability, and security, the trilemma of crypto.
Ooh, I like it.
With NEAR, as with others, the trade-off is decentralization.
Yeah, for sure. Well done, Brian. Well done.
Thanks.
Good job explaining the Doom Slug.
Doom Slug.
But yeah, NEAR runs its own virtual machine and has its own developer environment, languages, and tools. But it wants to achieve a level of interoperability, and its EVM is called Aurora, and Aurora is unique in that it is a blockchain that runs as a smart contract on the NEAR blockchain. Mm-hmm. Essentially, it means that Aurora provides a Ethereum layer 2-like experience for both users and developers on NEAR. Aurora is fully interoperable with Ethereum and all its different wallets and tools and stuff like that, allowing Ethereum developers to work in a familiar environment. And even with Aurora wallets, you can directly transfer, convert to Ethereum if you want. But Aurora does not have gas fees. And there's a rainbow bridge on Aurora for bidirectional transfers of Ethereum assets into NEAR. And another project, just to note, building on NEAR, that further increases NEAR's multi-chain interoperability is Octopus Network. Octopus Network is similar to Polkadot's design. Unlike Polkadot, which has a maximum of 100 parachains, there is no limit on app chains that are able to be built on the Octopus Network. So the tentacles have no limit.
I guess it's more than 8, but it's still the Octopus Network. But I gotta say, maybe they are king of buzzwords, on the
they've got
Network. That's pretty cool, And Doom Slug.
Doom Slug. It's just fun to say, you gotta admit. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned too, I don't think I did. NEAR uses the Rust programming language. So that's kind of a competitor to Solana. So if you're, Solana uses Rust as well. So maybe if you're a Solana developer, that's where you jump around with. So just a quick note.
All right. Good to know. So let me talk about tokenomics. The token is NEAR, N-E-A-R, and the current distribution is approximately 38% to contributors and backers, 38% for grants and foundation endowment, 12% early ecosystem, not sure what that means, and 12% community sale. So we've talked, we always talk about how much do the backers get. In this case, they do have venture capital investment. So I guess between them, the VCs and the founders / backers is 38%, which is pretty high in my opinion. As I said, Near Protocol launches mainnet on April 22nd of 2020. 5% of the additional supply is issued each year to support the network as the Epoch Awards. It is proof of stake, so they are going to have some inflation, and here it's 5% a year. And so the Near token is used for fees for processing transactions and storing data, running validator nodes, as we've said, and for governance. So pretty typical use of a token. The market cap right now is around $6.8 billion, which puts it around 23 in the market cap ranking as of the date of this podcast. And I've got to say, Ross, that's a pretty fast climb up the ladder. And to me, it kind of quietly climbed up the market cap in a fairly short amount of time. So it's been doing well.
Yeah, it has. I feel like when I first heard of Near, it was down to like, and I couldn't tell you a date on this, but it was down in the 40s. And every time I check, I feel like Near is just, it's higher than it was last, Yeah. So
I think it's had a retracement recently, but when a lot of the things were flat and going down at the end of 2021, it was still having a good run up. So
yeah. So where can you buy Near? Well, it's on Binance, HitBTC, Gate.io, Crypto.com, and Binance US. And just to note, if you're in the US, the two I'd say we'd recommend to buy it on, or the easiest to buy it on, would be Crypto.com and Binance US. And I will say it used to be difficult for U.S. citizens to get their hands on Near, but things have gotten a lot better over time, and especially in the recent months and years. So
yeah, well, and as it climbs the market cap chart, more people are going to want it.
Oh yeah, if it's that high, like in the 20s, you probably need it on your exchange for sure.
Yeah.
And just a couple random quick notes. I'll say, please make sure you check out the Near website for all things Near, because this one's complicated. It just has a lot of moving pieces. And of course, have you seen, we've introduced several new buzzwords, just like, say it one more time.
Doom Slug.
You gotta love Doom Slug. But, we hope we've given a good synopsis, and, we seriously could make a full episode on the consensus mechanism and various aspects, Rainbow Bridge, which I think we briefly mentioned, but Doom Slug, etc.
Well, what did you think of their website, though? I didn't find it that user-friendly. It kind of like wanted you to sign up right away or something. Did you notice that?
Well, I will say one thing I was going to say here at the end was I was looking for a roadmap just on their website, because I've heard of their roadmap every time. I just couldn't find one. Maybe I'm missing something. Someone pointed out, but especially for right now, we're recording this February 13th, 2022. I want to see what's going on next, and I just couldn't find a roadmap. So,
yeah.
Could you find one? I don't know.
I think I saw one, but it might have been in like a Medium post or something like that.
That's the one I saw. Yeah, it seemed dated.
Yeah, but that would be helpful, because honestly, I don't know how. I mean, I know there's apps up and running on it, and mainly using the Aurora that you mentioned. But we talked about the Sharding Nightshade being at level 0. I mean, and I did see that as a fact within the past month.
Yeah.
But yes, that would have been nice to see. The upcoming. So that could be in a sense. Our fault we didn't find it, but I mean, if you go to their website and you can't find their
it should be. I should be able to find that very easily for sure. And that I will say really quickly, that's not to say they're not actively updating their project. I mean, I checked out their GitHub because I couldn't find the roadmap, and I mean, they had updates like 2 hours ago, 30 minutes ago. They're actively, not to say they're not working on this very hard. So just something to know.
All right, Ross. I think it might be time for final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Who's up this week?
I believe it's me this week.
You ready to run with it?
Oh, I'm ready to run near to. I couldn't think of a pun.
The future is near.
Oh, yes. My final thought is near. I give up. Okay, so my final thought is near. With Near, I'm very high on Near. I really like Near. It sounds like a great project. The team, we didn't really get into too much about the team this time, but fantastic group of guys. They even won I forgot the coding competition they were in, kind of in high school, college years, but they won gold medals. Both the founders did in this competition. So obviously very smart guys if you're going to make something of this depth and magnitude in the crypto space. And I really like the idea that they're, building bridges to make interoperability a thing because, I know there's maxis that want to go all out in one coin, but I really think the future of crypto, especially in the, Web 3.0 smart contract space, bridges are going to be key for, really building the new decentralized internet. So I think that's a big deal. And then the, Doom Slug, although fun to say, the, dynamic sharding is so cool to hear. And it really feels like they took their platform and said, let's look at Ethereum and see if we can do things better. Let's look at all these different projects and collaborate and do something completely different, and not just different in the name of difference, but different better. So I don't know. I really like this project, and what you might get into, Brian. It lacks decentralization, but I think that's just the trade-off you get with delegated proof of stake.
Yeah.
So yeah. What you got for us, Brian?
Well, at the beginning I asked, how is it? It's another layer 1 project. How is it different from the other layer 1 protocols? Let me say from the outset that the competition is stiff and fierce.
The competition, it's very fierce.
So and there's always differences among the layer 1s, but the main difference, it seems to me, after doing the research, is the sharding, and not just sharding because others use sharding, but sort of the type of sharding that they use, and as you said, the dynamic sharding seems to be an advantage over sort of regular sharding or some other sharding that's being discussed. I'm not sure exactly what ETH 2.0 is, what type of sharding they're going to be doing, but I don't think it's the dynamic sharding. So that seems like that would be an advantage. We've come though across other when we've done some of our other programs where other projects have said, we don't do sharding, sharding is bad or scary. So.
Oh yeah, we definitely have.
You remember those?
Anti-sharding.
Right. And I'm not saying, I don't have the knowledge to opine on that or not. I'm just saying, obviously some projects think that sharding isn't the best way, I guess.
Yeah.
Or that there's dangers with sharding. That's what I recall was the thing there. But I'm not saying that. I mean, so to me, if you want to say what's the one thing that makes Near stand out, it seems to me it's this dynamic sharding, plus the combination that it appears to have the interoperability. The way you described their interoperability with Ethereum was sounded to be very advanced. I mean, if you can go back and forth that easily, there's just an advantage to that. That's a good thing. And I know Cardano has talked about having, its interoperability with Ethereum, but I haven't heard much about it lately, and I don't think it's as far along as what you described. So, so those are definitely very good points for Near. My concern, like you said, and like you knew was coming, is is the decentralization. And again, I'm not knocking it necessarily. I mean, it's delegated proof of stake, and with delegated proof of stake, you just boil it down to, in this case, 60 to 80. I think is realistically where we're at, which isn't a small number, but it's also not a big enough number that you can really call it decentralized. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what the definition of decentralization is? But in any event, that is a trade-off, and obviously they accepted it, and that allows them to get very fast speeds, and along with the sharding. So, and anyway, that's if, if I have to come up with a knock, that's it. But overall, I really like the project. I think it's great that we're increasing both speed and interoperability. It's just the competition is really fierce. I don't own any near NAT right now, but I would. I mean, I would buy some.
Oh yeah, neither.
I'm not going out this afternoon and buying any, but and mainly that's because of the competition. I'm not knocking the project at all. You're right. I think the team seems good. I think the tech seems good. And it's doing well. So that's great for the crypto space.
Yeah, Brian, I got to say one thing about, you're talking about competition. I'm just excited for the next, 3, 4, 5 years in the crypto space with all these smart contract platforms. Kind of, not really what's going to come out on top, but, who's going to be the leaders? Who's going to, is someone going to dethrone Ethereum especially with Ethereum 2.0 coming up? I mean, it's very exciting stuff, to say the least.
Not only that, but competition is good, right? Could Ethereum say, "Hey, look at this dynamic sharding. Maybe we could do that." I mean, generally it's open source. There's nothing to stop them. I don't know if that's in the works at all. I don't know where Ethereum is on its sharding. Nobody knows, I don't think.
Yeah.
But to me, this competition just makes everybody better. So yeah, I agree. It's great for the crypto space.
Awesome.
All right, man. Hey, there's another project from the Crypto Masters. Tune in next time. We'll have another one.
Yeah. And guys, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe below. And also, and as always, check out thecryptomasters.com. We've got features being added.
Yep. Good stuff on there.
All the time. Yeah. Check it out.
Thanks, everybody.